All right, welcome everyone. Today, we're going to journey back, way back, to the very first moment. We're going to explore the cosmic blueprint of all existence, which is hidden right inside the first chapter of the Torah. We're diving deep into the story, the hidden codes, and the very soul of creation.
I mean, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? What was actually there before there was anything? Before time, before space, before even a single ray of light? The Torah invites us to just lean into that mystery, to try and imagine a state of pure, untapped potential, just waiting for a voice to give it shape.
You know, the text actually gives this state a name, tohu vavohu, formless and void. And that's not just nothingness. It's more like a chaotic, undefined, mysterious soup. Think about a sculptor's huge block of marble before the first hit of the chisel, or a painter's canvas before a single drop of paint. That was the universe, all the raw material of reality just sitting there, but completely undifferentiated.
So how do we get from all that chaos to the cosmos we know? Well, our journey today is going to follow the blueprint itself. First, we're going to try and crack the code, hidden in the very first word. Then, we'll watch as the world is formed and then filled, building up to the masterpiece of creation, humanity. Finally, we'll explore the real meaning of holy rest, and I'll leave you with a challenge to bring some of this divine order into your own life. But here's the thing. This isn't just a story that starts at the beginning. The mystics taught that the beginning itself is a code. They saw the Torah not just as a book, but as this multi-layered system of divine information. And the master key? Well, it's hidden in plain sight, in the very first word. So the word is Bereshit. On the surface, it's translated as in the beginning. Simple enough, right? But oh, the mystics saw a treasure chest here. If you just rearrange the letters, you get Bereshit, which means he created 6, a direct hint at the 6 days that are about to happen. Look at it another way, and you find B Tishrei, on the first of Tishrei, which actually pinpoints the date of creation as what we now call Rosh Hashanah, an entire universe of meaning packed into just one word. It's incredible.
Okay, so with that blueprint set, the divine architect gets to work. These first 3 days, they're all about creating order out of the chaos. It's about building the fundamental structures of reality, the great domains where life is eventually going to flourish. And what's the very first creative act? A single command that just pierces the void. Let there be light. Now you've got to understand, this isn't the light from the sun or the stars. Those haven't even been made yet. This is something much more fundamental. It's like the spiritual energy of existence itself, the very idea of illumination. And with that, the first great separation is made. Light from darkness. And order begins.
You know, if you're paying attention, you can actually hear a rhythm emerge. Creation isn't some chaotic explosion. It's more like a symphony. Every single day follows this precise 7-step pattern. There's an announcement, and God said. Then a command, let there be. Then fulfillment, a description, a name, a final evaluation. It was good. And the closing verse. It's like a divine drumbeat, steady and purposeful, driving all of creation forward.
So following this exact rhythm, the architect keeps going. On D2, the waters are separated, creating the domain of the sky up above and the seas down below. Then on day 3, the land emerges from the water, and right away it's commanded to sprout vegetation. The basic habitats of our world, light and dark, sky and sea, earth and plants, they're all formed now. The stage is officially set. All right, so the architecture is now in place. But, you know, a house isn't really a home until someone's living in it, right? So for the next 3 days, the divine architect becomes the divine artist, filling all these beautifully formed but empty domains with life and color and movement. And this is where we see the absolute genius of the cosmic blueprint. It's a work of perfect symmetry. Day 4 comes along and fills the domain that was created on day 1. Day 5 populates the domain from day 2. And day 6 brings life to the domain of day 3. This is not a coincidence. It's elegant, intentional design. It shows us that every single element has its perfect time and its perfect place. So let's walk through it. On day 4, you get the sun, moon, and stars placed in the sky to rule over the light and dark that were created on day 1. On day 5, the sky and seas, which were separated back on day 2, are suddenly filled with birds and fish. And on day 6, the dry land that appeared on day 3 is populated with every kind of land animal. The world is just teeming with life, vibrant and alive. So, the stage is set. The world is filled with life. But now Now we get to the final, most profound act of all. The entire story zooms in for its masterpiece. The language of the text itself actually shifts because everything that's been created so far has been leading up to this one moment. And right away, we hit this really fascinating puzzle. God says, "Let us make man." Wait, us? Who is us? At first glance, it sounds like some kind of divine council, like God isn't acting alone. But the brilliant sage Rashi, he offers this stunning explanation. He says this has nothing to do with God needing help. It's about God embedding a lesson into the very fabric of creation. The ultimate power pauses to consult with the angels, the lesser beings, to teach every leader, every parent, every person for all time. True greatness involves listening to the small. And look, just in case anybody misses the point, the very next verse clears everything up. It doesn't say, "and they created." It says, "and God created." The verb is singular. The consultation, that was a lesson. The act of creation, that was God's alone. It's just a masterful piece of writing, teaching a huge moral lesson while at the same time affirming divine unity. So, what does it really mean to be created in God's image? It's not about what we look like, it's about our function. We are the ultimate synthesis, a physical body made from the elements of the earth, animated by a soul, a divine spark from above. This makes us completely unique, a living bridge, and we're tasked with connecting the physical world to the spiritual world. We're meant to be God's representatives, God's partners in caring for this amazing creation. And just like that, the masterpiece is complete. The world is formed, it's filled, and it has its steward. But the work isn't truly finished. There's one final act that's needed, not an act of making, but of being. This is the Creator's signature on the canvas of the cosmos. So, on the seventh day, God rests. But let's be clear, this isn't because God was tired. This is a rest of completion. God ceases the act of creating and instead infuses the entire creation with holiness, or kedusha. The Sabbath, Shabbat, it isn't an afterthought. It's the goal of the entire process. Without the seventh day, the first six are just a body without a soul. Rest isn't the absence of work. It's the presence of meaning. Okay, so we've just journeyed through this incredible cosmic blueprint. We've seen God bring purposeful order out of total chaos. So what now? What does this epic story mean for our own lives? How do we become co-creators with God? All right, so here is your challenge for the week. Remember that phrase, tohu vavohu, that formless void? We all have that in our lives, don't we? Your mission is to find one small corner of your own personal chaos and, just like the Creator, speak a word of order into it. Tidy one drawer. Schedule one important meeting you've been putting off. Offer one kind word where there's tension. Every single time you transform chaos into purposeful order, no matter how small, you are participating in the act of creation itself. Because in the end, this ancient text, it's not just some story about how the world was made, right? It's a living, breathing blueprint that's been given to each of us. It's a guide for how to build a life and a world of meaning and purpose and order. So the final question is for you. What are you building? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.